Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have, oh my goodness, a super powerful video, and I had to get it out super quick because I'm doing it actually late night. It's about 10:30 Mountain Time in Northern Colorado on February 17th, just before February 18th, the big pre-day, I think. And we'll see how this goes. I'm super excited, and I'm going to do something very, very different than I've done ever. Um, there's some things I've covered in the Bible, but not too much. I'll do scriptures here or there, not too much. A lot of reason for that. The Lord hasn't wanted me to get into these kind of things. It's not the niche He's wanted me to be in, and also there's when you get into too much of that, there's a lot of debate and a lot of just arguments, mainly the arguments and stuff. And He doesn't want that. He wants me to present things in the world's kind of predictive programming and stuff and things like that. But this time I'm doing both. So the first half roughly is going to be about the predictive programming and stuff about this time. And then roughly about the second half roughly is going to be about the fig tree generation and the proof I have of that we are right there. It's about to close up. So I'm super excited about this contrast between the two. You need to share this with as many people as possible, in my view. So, please do that. Watch it first, see if it's not a bunch of hokey pokey. No, just a bunch of hooey. But I'm so excited because of what I've been given by the Lord. And He, again, I don't know the future. I don't know where this is all going exactly. I'm doing my best to speculate where we're at. But I think this idea that we're at the transition between the real 2022 and 2023 years is massive, and I'm going to have this massive stuff to support this. So in this video, so also linked in the description box below is going to be the three different subjects of the innocent are taken first and raptured first, and the scriptures that support that, the 144,000, things like that. So there's three different subjects on that. That's in the description box below. Also, I'm going to have my timeline. It's 14/16 days. So there's a pre-day and a post-day, which are added to 14 days, and that makes it 16 days, or 8 and 8. It's exactly in the middle. I didn't put the midpoint thing I was going to talk about. This is the real 88. It's 8 days plus another 8 days, a total of 16 days. And that's the 88 that's in all kinds of movies and everything. That's in the Back to the Future. 88 miles per hour. That whole thing. It's 8 plus 8 days, okay? So anyway, I'm super stoked about this. And so that my timeline of these 16 total days, but they're really representative of 5 days, the attack days, so-called, and they're 2 days long, basically a one full day across. Anyway, it's hard. I'll show you this in a second here. But my timeline is going to be pinned to the top of comments like normal in this video for those who don't know, okay? So here, without further ado, let's keep going. Boom. Okay, so, and then also if you want to join Telegram, I'm going to leave, this is probably the last time I'm going to even mention this, because I've mentioned it different times. If you add and if you go away and stuff, it's kind of crazy. I've got a nice core group there right now of a few thousand. So it's, and then there's, anyway, so, and I want to mention also that, my main, what do you call it? Basically having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, is Ephesians 5:11. And that's my main motto, I should say. That's what I want to say. By the way, it's late. It's later than normal. I might be a little bit off. So I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to try to be nice and up and everything like that. And it's not easy to do these videos, to do these and just be completely, and I don't edit things. I don't edit things out typically and all that. I don't really, so I'll make a mistake, and then it's like, okay, whatever, just roll with that. I'm a person, I'm a human, so just people deal with it, hopefully. So my motto, in a sense, is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. Ephesians 5:11, and 5:11 is a big number. And if you think about it, you got 5 and 5, and then 1 plus 1 is 2, or 2, 5, or 2, and then 5 is made up of 2 and 3. 223. And, I've shared this many times. All my children and my wife and I all have numerology of 511 or 11.5 or 2.5. It's just crazy. And my twins were born at 5'10 and came home at 5'11. There's just so many things with all this. It's such a God thing. It blows my mind. And it's about time that I finally understand all this stuff, I think. So here we go. So I want to share that. Again, link in the description box below. If you want to get on Telegram, you get notifications on your phone. And I share things regularly. I just posted something before this video about some really cool stuff. Like Bruce Willis has this kind of dementia, and similar to what they're saying, Biden time, creepy Uncle Joe Biden time has. And they saw the numbers. I mean, Bruce Willis, BW, first letter BW is 223. I mean, and all this stuff. I did a cool post about that. So if you want to check out that post, sign up for Telegram, and it goes right through your phone number, your cell phone, whatever. So it's really worth it for some of these things. So anyway, and if you're not able to get notifications, I mean, YouTube turns off notifications, then do that or don't. Okay, so I want to cover this again for people who don't know. Predictive programming is in all of media that is bombarding our brains. It's a subtle form of psychological conditioning woven into the fabric of all mass media, designed to subconsciously program or consciously acquaint the public with pre-planned societal changes, ideas, or events. These changes, ideas, or events eventually become reality, largely because the public over time has already become programmed and or familiarized with them, accepting them as natural progressions, thus eliminating virtually all possible public resistance, commotion, or investigation. And this is my definition 100%. I've taken it from different things and molded it into my definition. That's what predictive programming is in a nutshell. So, okay, so help, I'm predictive programming, and I'm in a nutshell. Help. Okay. So anyway, 216, what's this? Well, about 3 years ago, roughly, I can't remember exactly the day, but roughly about 3 years ago, I had a dream. It was very, very short. And I was sitting on the edge of my bed, like I just woke up. I was kind of tired, and it was a dream about that I just woke up. It's weird. Dream about I just woke up, sit on the edge of my bed, and then Jesus is sitting across from my room, and it was kind of longer than normal, and he was sitting on something. I couldn't tell what it was, some bench or something. And then he stood up, and right in between us, he's coming towards me, right in between us, about 4 feet high, probably about 3 foot off the ground, or 3 foot off the floor, and then maybe 3 foot down from the ceiling, something like that, was this big 216. And then what he did was he put his finger on top of the 6, and he flipped it to the side like that, and it was 219. And he said 216 is 219. And I mean, I knew that 216 was the day of the year that Obama was born. Okay, CKBO, the 44th Press, because that's the 216th day of the year is August 4th. And then also 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, or 666. And I've shown hundreds of ways where he is 666. If you just take the base ciphers, I should have done this again. I haven't done it for a long time. If you just take the base ciphers of gematria, basically, English gematria, reverse English, reduction, single reduction, and reverse single reduction, and you add them together, it's 666. And there's many things. Something as simple as Barack Hussein Obama, it's 18 letters divided by 3 names is 666 per name if you average it. So that's just those things, just are a couple of things, just tell you real quick. But I mean, each one of his names is a version of 666 in many, many ways. I mean, he is it in so many ways. And I have right now over 700 solid evidences that he is the Antichrist, and nobody comes close. Nobody. And he's woven into all the fabric of our lives. It's crazy. I'm going to show some of that in my videos, in this video, and I do in all my videos. Okay. So anyway, so he showed me that. So 219 is a huge deal. Now, more recently, in fact, this was almost a year ago, more than a year ago now, February 9th last year. I had a dream that night, I think it was, and he said, Jesus said, I just heard a voice, him say it over my right ear, or my left ear. I think it was my left ear, actually, because that's the way I'm facing. I'm just thinking I think it was my left ear, because that's where I usually hear him, on the left, and then hear God on the right. Anyway, so he said to me, ISIS is born on 210, and I'm like, okay. So I woke up and I was like, what? And I don't say ISIS. I mean, I don't talk about. I knew who he was talking about. I knew he was talking about that Stinky Bill is a clone, and he has a feminine spirit, and he's female and male, but he has probably he's more female in a sense because there's a feminine spirit that's contrary to the masculine spirit of God in a sense. But even though spirit is not either one, but it's a symbolic. So God is a masculine spirit, and then of course the enemy would come up with a female, antithesis, or the Antichrist version of that would be the female, or Jesus being a male, then Obama would be female kind of thing, but hidden because it can't be known that he has that and all that, and he's a clone. And then we know that his so-called wife is Michael, okay, and if you ever seen any footage or anything like that, he's got something down there, and he's a she, and all this stuff, and so Sticky Bo, the 44th Prez, is also, in fact, he's actually both, but he's a clone, okay. Now, I don't know if Michael is, I don't think so, but or Michelle, Michael, whatever, but he is for sure, okay. So I knew he was talking about ISIS. But I don't talk like that, right? And then so 210, it could be, it could be February 10th, it could be February something else, it could be April being the second month on the Roman calendar, things like that, okay? So I thought all last year there were different months, or it could be opposite of that because they work with opposites. He never tells me the exact thing. It's always code, and that's how he works with code, and that's in the Bible as well. It's like, it's the glory of God to conceal a matter, it's the honor of kings to search it out. Things like that. God only. There's a lot of things about that. So when you put those two together, well, first of all, let me show you this. So this is ISIS, for example. Okay, now this is Rihanna, of course, and just repulsive in so many ways. I can't even say. A lot of these people, these entertainers, these singers, and all this stuff, because they have such a Antichrist spirit. Look at that. You got the serpent eyes, serpent hair. It's Medusa with a stake and all that. Just as brash as you can come up with almost some of these people. But that is, I'm going to show you how she is ISIS. And she, of course, was a symbol for ISIS being born, and she was at the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Okay, and I'm going to show you this real quick. So, boom. And then also she did this for GQ, and GQ just happens to be in reverse extended 210. Oh, wow, what a shock, GQ is 210. Okay, that's not a coincidence. And then I had to kind of there's some extra cleavage going on here, so I had to kind of do those two circles. But what I'm trying to show you here is right here. And look, she's literally has a tattoo of ISIS. Okay, so again, she was for display, and in fact, she had a bustier or some kind of thing that was just ridiculous. That was darker red or whatever, what she was wearing or something. It was ridiculous, just emphasizing those areas and everything. And then she was also wearing red. She's the Scarlet Woman, the Bible talks about, with her abominations and all that stuff. And then, so here it is, proof that she's ISIS. ISIS is born in 210. So the Super Bowl was 212, and so it makes sense it would be right after that. And I was seeing all these stuff in the Super Bowl that was warning of 57. Okay, and 57 is triple tau. Stinky Bo is 19, 19, and 19. He's Mr. 57. He had the 57th inauguration of a president. He said stuff like when he was campaigning, I've been to 57 states, and people thought that was a mistake, but no, it's all programming. It was saying he's Mr. 57. He had the 56th and the 57th inauguration. And by the way, in this timeline I'm about to show you, he dies on the 56th day, and then his death is reported on the 57th day. And that's a coincidence? No, I don't think so. This is what it's all been planned to be, I believe. Okay, I think I understand this 100% now, but we'll see. We'll see. And then look, she is the goddess Isis, and that's 219, or 1 plus 9 is 10, that's 210. But see how they scramble these just a little bit, so you can't really see it. They do it backwards, upside down, and backwards, move a couple numbers around, that's it. And I'm going to show you much proof of this. It's like here, boom, okay, check this out. And this was back in September 9th. So September 9th is 9-9, for example, or it's 7-9. What's 7-9? 7-9 is Barack Obama. Jesus said in Luke 10:18, as Satan as lightning falling from heaven, or Satan as Barack Obama, and that's why his name is that, because it's exactly how you translate it into English. From that's how you say it in Hebrew, Barack Obama. Okay, And then September 7-9 is Barack Obama, and I'll show you that here in a little bit here because I have other examples of that. And then look, it was year 212, or the Super Bowl 212, or if you look at it 9-9 and get rid of these two, and then this is by itself 212. So Super Bowl 57 was on 212. What a shock! And then she gets goddess, even this is admitting it. Rihanna gets goddess Isis tattooed on her chest in memory of her late grandmother. Now, this is all gematria. None of this is true, and I'm going to prove it to you. So, now look at this. One of the reasons why it's not true is this whole title is this. Rihanna gets goddess tattooed on her chest in memory of her late grandmother. Look, 219, or backwards, 19th of February. See, so what I'm showing you, this is all warning of what's coming. In fact, when she was in the Super Bowl, it was a week later. And I'm going to show you that in many ways here. This is crazy. And then here, again, here in gematria, right? And then this idea, the subject of her late grandmother. Her late grandmother is all bogus too. So look, her late grandmother is gematria as well. Her late grandmother in English ordinal, I mean, A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. The reason why you'd have this in Frank Baconus is this whole title is all in capitals. Most of these words are in capitals. So when you use Francis Bacon or Frank Baconus, you have different numbers. So for example, here, look at G. Lowercase g is 7, but uppercase G is 39. So that's why it'd be different on this. You got G, anyway, so that's why it'd be different. Otherwise, A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3 on English ordinal. That's why I would use it differently here. But, this is an uppercase 2, and it's different, but to show you here in English ordinal, look at this. 19th of February, 19th backwards of February. I mean, are you kidding me? We're not just grabbing any weird thing. It's right there and clearly in what's appropriate with uppercase letters or capitals, and then we have regular here. I mean, are you kidding me? Proving it. Okay, and then here's an example of her and her significant other, I guess, right now. I don't think they're married, I guess, which was not a surprise, but I think they're, if I remember right, maybe I think they said they weren't. And then look, it happens to be on Apple podcasts. It's called Comments by Celebrities, a podcast on Apple. And it just happens to be she and him are on episode 219. Again, February 19th, or Isis is born on 2/10. 1 plus 9 is 10. Get it? I mean, it's all over the place. The Cut says, take a bow. Wait, why is Rihanna's Fenty brand closing? By the way, Fenty is her last name. Her real last name is Fenty. Forget her full name, Rihanna something Fenty. Anyway, I did all that stuff. But this is all gematria. But first, I'm going to show you this. Look, February 10th. This came out. What a shock! This came out on February 10th. Again, Isis was born on 2/10. See, this is all planned. Lord told me exactly what I needed to hear, and it was code. Okay, but it was important. And then look at this. Look at that. 2 and 21 backwards is 12. Look, Super Bowl here. Super Bowl. See. And then we have this whole in gematria. Wait, why is Rihanna's Fenty brand closing? That's exactly what it says. And what's 49? 49 is 2/18. February 18th. Again, that's the pre-day, and the first day is the 19th. The pre-day is the 18th. And then the same day, if you know my videos, the 18th and 19th, the pre-day and the first day are really the first day together, 2 days. And that's the 49th day, and then the 2/19 is the 50th day of the year. So there you go, 49. And to prove that even more, over here is 49 backwards, which is, again, 2/18. And then 49 plus 1 backwards is 50, and that 50th day of the year is 2/19. And then another example of that is, like I said many times before, February in the Roman calendar is the 12th month. 1 plus 2 is 3. So February in the Roman calendar is hidden as a 3/19, or 19 of February on the Roman calendar. There you go. See this? And these are main ones: reverse full, single reduction, English ordinal. Okay, bam, it just keeps coming. And there's her brand, Fenty. Everything they do, this is a picture, many pictures that she's had for this article, and they have everything in them. There's so much in here with her jewelry and stuff too, and her ears, everything. So Fenty just has to be 2/19 also. Oh, what a shock. And then she's wearing orange, which is 57, the Jewish ordinal. Just like Super Bowl 57. That's not a coincidence either. And then look, she's wearing, and let's go back here. Oops. She's wearing an orange sweater dress. It goes down as kind of a low-cut dress, but it's an orange sweater dress. and that's 216. Remember, that's Stinky B.O.'s birthday, 216th day of the year. Remember, Jesus said 216, put up the 6 to 219. There you go, 219, 219. 57th Super Bowl. Okay, it just keeps going and going and going. I have so much on each one of these things I'm showing you. I'm just not going to make this a 5-hour video. I have so much. And I have so many other crazy things I could share with you. Other things that go down all kinds of rabbit trails and stuff that are mind-blowing stuff, but I want to make a presentation that's not too long, and so I'm just handpicking certain things. Okay, now look, her logo here is a backwards N. Now that's important because it's also, so not only, this is how the enemy works with the demons and stuff. They do multiple things with the same thing, or sometimes multiple words. Each word is something, and you put them all together, or as you add a word, it's something. It's crazy. That shows you how intricate it is, how super spiritual it is, that people can't come up with this stuff. And so not only did I show you as 219 her name and other things, but also being an N backwards, if you were to type it into a gematria, I type it into gematrinator.com, and you type it in, then there's no such thing as a backwards N. So all you can type in is F-E-T-Y. Her head's covering the T because it's Fenty. F-E-T-Y. What's F-E-T-Y? It just happens to be 19.2. Again, reverse satanic. I don't use these too much. I use them to make a point, though. So, because they're all valid. They all make certain points. But look at this. And there's a couple of gematras where 19.2 is Feti without the N backwards, because you can't type in a backwards N. And there's other reasons why there's a backwards N, because N is 14, and 14 backwards is 41. And I'm not going to get into all that. It also emphasizes 14. 14 is 5. I'm not going to get into all that right now. Okay, she's also been in vogue countless times. This is just 4 examples of how she's been in vogue many times. There's far more than this. And what's vogue? Again, there it is, 219. Just like the other ones you saw, 219. And that is exactly because they don't want to make it super obvious. That's 219. Occasionally you'll find some 219s or 210s, whatever, but mostly it's it's kind of scrambled somehow or backwards or something like that. Okay. So, and then here she is on Vogue, actually super recently for the British Vogue, March 2023, the new baby and everything. She got the little boy and the baby that's about to come. All about the birth of the Antichrist. It's just crazy. And she was pregnant while she did the halftime show chorus, because that's the way it's supposed, that's the birth of the Antichrist coming soon, very soon. Okay. And so again, and then I did a little clip out of here of this article that was about her being in Vogue. And it's obviously, look, the 34-year-old singer, by the way, 34 is backwards of 43. She was in Super Bowl 57, which is the 43rd day of the year. That was 43rd day of the year. And then she turned down, supposedly, this is all bull, but she previously turned down opportunity to headline the halftime slot in a flagship NFL game in 2019. Again, February 19. ISIS is born on 2, 1 plus 9 is 10, or the first day is 2/19. Again, 7 days after 2/12. Okay, there it is. And you can read the rest here, but it's crazy. I'm showing you all the evidence you need to see. It's crazy. And then, of course, the Super Bowl was in Glendale, Arizona. Now, this is the way it's spelled here, done here with Glendale, AZ. Well, how is that 219? Well, if you go 261, by the way, that's 10 letters, 2 words, or 210. ISIS is born on 210. Glendale, Arizona is 261. Upside down and backwards is 19.2 again. 19th of February. See how this is warning, but people don't know. They have no clue what these are saying, but I do, because the Lord's taught me this stuff. Jesus has taught me this stuff over the last 4+ years. About 4.5 now. Crazy, okay? And then even spelled out. And look, they even spelled out. We got this in 261. Again, upside down and backwards is 192. 192. There you go. There it is. And then even the Super Bowl, the name Super Bowl, and every Super Bowl has been forecasting that, because S is 19. First letter code S and B are 19.2. There you go, 19.2. And then R and L is 9 or 1/8 and 12. For example, February is the 12th month, and then the pre-day is 18th. Or you could do 2-1, and then 1 plus 8 is 9. 219 or 219. There you go. Both of them are first letter and last letter code. That's another thing. I don't know if anybody ever seen that does first and last letter codes. And I found some incredible first and last letter codes. For example, let me share this one with you really quick, and that is the song by REM. Says, "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine," right? Well, the first letter on all those things, "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine," is, it's is I, the is T, all those first letters are a scrambled anagram for um, uh, takeoff at World War III. And it's talking about the rapture of the right. And that's about the rapture. And I did a whole video about that, and it was amazing what the Lord showed me. I couldn't believe how he led me there and everything. But basically, those first letter codes for that main phrase, "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine," is takeoff at World War III. It's just crazy. And that's example first letter code, just first letter code, not mentioned last letter code. And I found tons of stuff on both. And I have tons of those over my videos over time. I have so many anagrams that they are in all kinds of things. And first letter and last letter code stuff that I've been doing for a long time. It's just phenomenal. And how I've gotten there, I couldn't do that myself. How do you figure that out? How do you even know it's there? The Lord leads me there, the supernatural leaning of the Lord Jesus, and he can show you stuff and do all kinds of stuff with you if you let him, or maybe you already know that. Maybe you know him. Most people don't spend the time to try to get to know him because, first of all, they don't know who he is really. And then, or they get confused in religious stuff about who Jesus, God, whatever, and all this stuff. There's just there's a relationship with him. There's relationships there. Okay, it's there. It's like it's like in the epistles. It says, "Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father," relationship, "and the Lord Jesus Christ," relationship. So just act like that. God our Father, relationship. The Lord Jesus Christ, relationship. You need a God in your life, and you need a Lord in your life. God is your Father. You need a Father that will never leave you or forsake you, that loves you like you're his little child, and you need that closeness. And then Jesus being your Lord and Master, you need to be smacked. You need to be guided. You need to be shut down. You need to be lifted up. You need to be everything that a master would do. That most, when I'm talking to, if I'm talking to people in Western culture, Eastern culture is more, they know that more. They know the idea more of a master and like an apprentice kind of thing. In Western cultures, we're all do it ourselves. We don't listen to anybody, and we do all the things. The idea of a master is very beneficial, because a master goes before you, and they know more than you, and they're more wise, and you would serve under them and learn what they know. But most, especially American culture, is ridiculous. We don't, we just try to do our things ourselves, and we're idiots for that. So anyway, moving on. So here we go. Another example here of the Super Bowl, stupid bowl here. Boom, stupid bowl. And all stupid bowls completely equal 57. Wow, look, same exact English order. What is this saying? This is showing me that this is the last Super Bowl, because that's what this equals. That was the whole reason for the name Super Bowl, not to mention the 219s, all that. But this, plus, what is this? 131 upside down and backwards is 1E1. And what's 1E1? E is the fifth letter of the alphabet. That's 151. Do you see something here that's 151? 151. See that? 151. Do you think that's a coincidence? If you think it's a coincidence, you're not too bright. I'm sorry, but I've been showing you things already, and if you know any of my videos or just what I've shown you so far, that nothing I've shown you so far is coincidence by any stretch of the imagination. You got to use your brain a little bit, and then think about possibilities and probabilities. And if you don't know that, I understand. Some people don't know that completely, but you got to look at this and go, wait, there's something going on here, or it's beyond your understanding. Okay. Fine, whatever. So 151 is 151. And what's 151? Well, let me tell you a little bit more about that, okay? And then here it is, another 15. See, they just show this all over. 151, okay? Oh, maybe you want it 115. Maybe you want it November 5th or May 11th. How about that? Either one. That's where they're always see how they're programming you, and you don't even know it. Most people have no idea. Well, what are they doing? Well, this is Astro World is another example. Astro World is a portal By the way, the portal is on 115, or 1 is 2, and 5 is made up of 2, 3, or 2, 2, 3. Okay, Astral World is a portal. And what's this big mountain thing here? If you look at the concert, it looked exactly like Hawaii, and there's lava all coming out from it because the portal is over Hawaii. And I've said that 1,000 times in my videos. In fact, my first video was about a hurricane that the Lord told me on the day before Obama's birthday back in 2018. I didn't even know it was his, I didn't even think about him being his birthday. The day before his birthday, the Lord said, I want you to start a video, start doing YouTube. And then, so August 5th, the day after his birthday, well, it's technically still his birthday in a sense. It's weird because it's literally a 24-hour period from his birth. And so, 4th and 5th are his birthday. And by the way, on August 5th, 2 years in a row, there were nukes that went off in Soviet Union. Or Soviet Union and Russia, I should say. So, yeah, so former Soviet Union is what I meant to say. And then the next year on 8/4, the third year in a row, but 2 on August 5th. And some people don't know that the one that was the first one was really on August 5th. And I caught it, and I have proof of it, but they said it was later, and it wasn't. I actually literally have the exact day proof stamp of the day. It was August 5th. So they had August 5th. It was 2018, August 5th, 2019, and then 2020, August 4th, on his same birthday, is on his birthday, because it's August 4th and 5th are the same because it's a 24-hour period from when he was born. It was the nuke in Beirut. Okay, I'm telling you, it's crazy. This stuff's great because he's the god of destruction. And so they're going to have massive destruction. That's why this stuff's all over the news, these derailments and all this kind of stuff, and these chemical plants going up, and all this stuff happening every day, every other day, and all this stuff blowing balloons down and everything, explosions. Yeah, this is my foreign correspondent, howitzer explosion guy. Willie Obama. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. So anyway, Astral World was on November 5th, 11/5, okay? As a portal, it's a portal. People went crazy during that time. By the way, this is Zombie Day. 11/5 is really 2/23. Again, 1 + 1 is 2. 5 is made up of 2 and 3. 2/2/3 is coming, and there's going to be Zombie Alien Craziness Day. Okay, and people went mad there, and 8 people died, I believe, something like that day. Okay, on 2021, November 5th, Astral World. Look it up if you don't know. See you on the other side. There's a portal right here, right at the mountain. And like I've said a million times before this even came around, there's the CERN's going to open a portal right over the area where Hawaii used to be when the tsunami hits it and destroys Hawaii. That's why there's one star when the flag is ripped off. The part of the flag is ripped off on iPad Goat. There's one star flying in the wind, and that's the 50th star. That's Hawaii, because Hawaii's the 50th state. I've shown that many times in my videos. Okay, so anyway, and then what's also equated to 5/11, 11/5, this is so crazy. Well, first of all, they said it was people that died from crowd crush. They literally said this many times, crowd crush. And not only that, 33, CC, crowd crush. You've received 33 many times. They love 33. But you know why they love 33? It's not because it's 33, because it's 2 3s. It's 23. That's what it hides. Not necessarily because it's 33, because it's 2 3s, which is 23. And 23 is everything to them, secretly, ultimately. And then because it's 57. And then look, 131. I just told you Super Bowl and 57. 131 upside down and backwards is 5/11, or 11/5, 11/5. And then look, what ultimately 11/5 is. 1 + 1 is 2, and 5 is made up of 2 and 3. So we're looking at the 23rd of February, Zombie Alien Day. Watch out. You've been warned. And then check this out. Talk about ridiculousness with 11/5, 5/11. By the way, it's not just Zombie and Alien Day and these other crazy things that are going to happen. An attack on Las Vegas. Probably a comet or meteor hitting Las Vegas. That's all there. And I'm going to show you that in the logo, or in the that's in the or the Super Bowl logo as well. But watch this. Back in 11, look at it. Back in 21 again, he got 21. It was the same exact day. Look, 2021, 11/5. The same exact day of Astral World was on 11/5. They announced these things, these crazy things. I can't say them because I'm on YouTube. These things. First one's available for ages of 5 to 11. Are you kidding me? Do you see what I'm showing you? On 11/5, they made these available for ages 5 to 11. Can you be more in your face 11:5, 5 to 11. And why? Because I told you 11:5 or 5:11 is 223. It's Zombie Day, Alien Day, but right before that, and I've said this for years before any of this stuff I'm showing you happened, okay? Because I was seeing in all the programming and everything in the numbers, is that innocent children will be taken from every innocent child, whatever God deems to be innocent, okay? And I have theories about it, but I'm not totally sure right now. The Lord really won't tell me exactly what age. Whoever he deems to be innocent, and there's a scale on that or whatever. There's some kind of marker he'll have, and it could be 12 and under, it could be 18 under, it could be, I don't know. I don't know. I'm racking my brain on that, and there's massive scriptures in the Old Testament, New Testament. Again, there's a link in the description box below. I show you all the scriptures in the New Testament and Old Testament on that. That's why they have children connected to this in so many ways. That's why there's, movies like the Childhood's End that was on Sci-Fi, and children are floating up into the air when the aliens come, and the aliens are going to say that they took them. The good aliens that show up later are going to say that they took them, and that's why they were disappeared. You have movies like Knowing, where the children are being taken by aliens and they're holding white rabbits when they're being taken. White rabbit is 223 or 54. I've shown this in my videos, in my last video. Check out my last video if you haven't. It's about two and a half hours or whatever, or not quite 2.5 hours or whatever, something like that, but it's totally worth it. You see a lot of stuff in there. It's just nuts. This is all here. It's coming. Whether it's now or very soon after now, it's coming, but I think I finally got this right, but we'll see. Okay, look at the Super Bowl logo. Now, what we have right here in front of your faces is LV, Las Vegas, or 322. L is 12, which is 3, and V is 22. Okay, this is Las Vegas. This is a meteor coming down, or a comet coming down to hit Las Vegas. Then we have two towers things here, okay? So what does this represent? This represents 322, and this represents that, okay? Now, what ultimately, now I understand, because that 9, from that, you got the 1 and 1, which is 2, and the 9 is made up of 1 and 8, okay? That's the pre-day going to 322, the first attack day, the pre-day and the first attack day. Now I'm going to show you, this is right side up, and I'm going to show you the exact same thing almost, but in a little bit different way, upside down on this, okay? They confirm each other. Again, in their imagery, if you see in movies or whatever, there's numbers and imagery that confirm each other, sometimes several times. You just got to know how to look for it, like I do, and the Lord's taught me over time. Like, for example, there's a 5 right in this football, and I'm going to show you here again what that means. But what you don't see here, what you don't realize here, is not only do you have LV1 or LVII in Roman numerals, LVII, it's also LV11, okay, but we have L1V11, okay, or in gematria, LIVII. Okay, there's different. That's why they love this, because they can do it no Roman numerals, but it really means gematria, and it also means Roman numerals, and it's hiding several things, but they all mean the same thing. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, so again, there's this being 1 slash or one or an I. Okay, 1 I or or an L. That's also an L, but I'm not gonna get into that either right now. Okay, so if you look at that as an I, it's LIVII. And what is this? Okay, this is what it's secretly saying also. This is 7 months and 4 days into 1961. Okay, is August 4th, 1961. That's Stinky B.O.'s birthday. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. 7 months and 4 days into 1961. So you count 7 months, which is July, and then past July, you got 4 days, and that's 4 days into August, is August 4th, 1961. There it is. This is in so many things, it's ridiculous, because he's all over the place. It's ridiculous. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of knowing all this stuff. I really am. And I just want, Lord Jesus, thank you. And then to prove this out another way, his birthday, again, I should have showed you his so-called birthday, August 4th, 1961, to the Super Bowl day. Are you ready for this? Is 61 years and 192 days, or 219 backwards. 219. This shows you, again, Super Bowl date is heralding his birth. This is showing his past birth, this is his current birth, and this current birth just has to be February 19th backwards, and then 6 plus 1 is 7, and 2023 is 2 plus 2 plus 3, which is 7. This is hiding his first day of birth, which is to the 219, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 223 of 2023, 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. See that? Wow. Okay. And again, also, this is his real birthday too, because you get anything at 92 stays the same. 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's 12 is made up of 8 and 4. And then we have 61. So we have August 4th, 61. And there you go, right there too. So this stuff works. It's crazy. Now let's go upside down. Now if you go upside down, we have 1 and 1 is 2. And V upside down, instead of having this bar right here, which they don't care, they show this as A all the time. That's 1. A is 1. 8 goes 1 in gematria. Then right here we have a 1 and a 7, or 17. So what do we have? We have 2. 1 plus 17 is 18. That's 218. Oh, I don't know why I did that, but okay. But I was going to put a 218 over here, but whatever. 2, 1 plus 7 is 18. So 218 is the pre-day. And then, like I said, see this 5 right here? Can you see that? Now, I marked it out. You can see it right there. It's right here. It's a 5. It's a 5. So 2, 1 plus 17 is 18. 218 plus 5 is right here. Plus 5 is 223. I'm telling you, there's no way this could work out. There's no way both directions, above and same above as below, or I can't think of this phrase now. As above, so below is what I'm trying to say. Okay, or the upside down, as in Stranger Things. Okay, please. Okay, do you get this? Man, now watch this. Okay, this will blow your nuggets out the back of your head if you really realize what this is. If you don't, then you're like, eh. Like people, I still have naysayers. I don't think they'll maybe even watch all the video or not. But if you do, and if you watch all my videos and you question it so much, I mean, you're not too bright. I mean, you are so blind. It's ridiculous. It's absurd, actually, because you should be able to look at this and go, there's something to this. Maybe I don't have it fully understood or whatever, or at least you could say is, oh, there's something here, because there's no way all this stuff could add up. There's no way. I mean, obviously you're not getting it, because I really tap into the Lord Jesus for him to show me how to present this and give as best I can with what he shows me to show you. And there's just no way that a logical thinking, non-bias person could not see that there's something here at least. I mean, I wouldn't say you have to agree with me or anything like that, but you got to be able to see this. I mean, I'm so convinced of this over the years that people that are just massive naysayers, they have an axe to grind. They're afraid. You are terrified of your apple cart being upset. You are so with your head in the sand that the back of your jaw is so gritty that you're just used to it. You're used to the grind. You ever heard people say used to the grind? You're used to grinding your teeth, grinding that grit from being your head in the sand, and pull it out, man. Shake your head, get those grains out of your mouth, man. It'll be a brand new day for you. I guarantee you in Jesus. Just ask the Lord to come to you, and he will help you. Call upon the Lord. I'm telling you, that's all you have to do. Call upon the Lord Jesus, and he will help get that grit out of your mouth. And man, you'll breathe better and everything. Okay, seriously. So check this out. Obama's birthday, right? So-called. Again, I say so-called because we can't trust anything they say. We don't know anything about it. And this proves actually the things I'm going to show you about his birthday and things I've shown is that's all made up. There's no way that it could actually be organic. None of this stuff is really organic. In fact, he's a clone, so he's not organic. In fact, that's why he's a clone, because he's a man and a beast, and that's what the Bible says. How can a beast be a man if he's not a clone? Okay. Otherwise, he wouldn't be a man. But it looks like a man if it's a clone, right? But it's not really technically a man. Okay, so 8/4/1961. Now watch this. Boom, 8 weeks. Now this is what we're adding to this date. We're adding 8 weeks. And we're going backwards, going middle to end. Middle to the ends. Middle to ends, right? And we're going backwards each time. We're going middle, backwards, right. Now watch, 4 months. We're going to take 4 months. And then watch, we're going here, 19 days. Again, backwards, middle, 8/4, backwards. And see this patterns here. It's crazy. I figured out these patterns. It's just amazing. And then we have 61. Okay, 61. We know he's 61 years old. Now watch this. 8 weeks, 4 months, 19 days, 61 years, August 4th, 1961, added to August 4th, 1961 is, are you ready? Do you have your seatbelt on? Do you even care? If you don't, go away. Go do something else and wait for all this stuff to happen and go hide or something, okay? But if you want to know the truth, if you want to have your eyes open, you'll stay tuned right now and watch this. Ready? What this adds up to when you add his birthday numbers to his birthday numbers? Boom, 2/18/23, the pre-day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, it depends on how it's added. Now, I'll give you an example. If you do date and time, for example, you'll see 17 and 18. There's different, because it can be calculated two different ways based on what you add first. It's weird how the numbers work, but it can be 17 or 18. But the way you really do it, the way I did it, was 18. So it's 18. It's just crazy. It's the way it's done, the way they do it, actually. But sometimes we have a stretch of so many years, there's little caveats to how the days and stuff are added. And I know it doesn't make sense to anybody else, but I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm not going to, but trust me, that's what it is. And look it up. I mean, if you look it up, you do this in date and time, for example, it's called date and time, and you'll see what that means. And then they explain it. Okay, so now that was for 2/18. That's the pre-day. This is the new timeline. Pre-day, first day, 49th day of the year, 50th day of the year. First attack day, 222 and 223. 222 is all over the place, and it always has been. And 223 is 322 skull and bones. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then this is when Stinky B.O. dies, and this is also his announced death day, because it's going to happen late. They do this all the time. Another reason why they have 2 days, because there's a death day and announcement day. Britney Spears is also going to die on this day and be announced that day. And by the way, her false death was the false death that was reported and then it wasn't real and everything like that was December 26, 2016. December is 12, like February is really the 12th month of the Roman calendar, and then 26 is this day right here. That's what reported, and it was reported that day that she was dead, but she wasn't really. Okay, and then it was 2016, which is 216. And what's 216? 219. 216 is 219, the Lord said. So you got birthday, Obama's, and a death day, and this is her death day. And that's what I got 1,000 things that I could show you with her and him. I mean, it's just insane. And her name means the spearing of John. Brittany Jean Spears is Brittany John Spears, or Britton Spears John. Because when that happens, he's going to her death going to be announced right before he gets speared, and then Trumple is going to die on this day too. And there's a bunch of numbers with him on this one as well. But anyway, and then look, check this out. This is when Stinky B.O. dies, and then when his reported death is the 56th or 57th day of the year. He had the 56th or 57th inauguration. What a coinkydink. No, not even close. And then we have the Tsunami days of March 1st, because that's the transition of the year of the Roman calendar. February being the last month, March being the first month, and this is going to be the transition of the ages. And I'm going to show you this, and that's marked out by water, the mega tsunamis. 3-1 and 3-2. That's why this is in blue. 3-1 and 3-2. Again, 2-3 right here is birth. 2-3, 3-2. 2-3 is really the number they want. 2-3 here. 2-3 and 2-3. It's crazy. And there's 34 for zombie, and 43 is the number of the Super Bowl, for the day of the Super Bowl, 43rd day of the year. There's so much stuff in here, I can't even get into all of it. And then Stinky B.O., if you have his full name, Barack Insane, I'll just say it that way, Barack Insane Obama, okay? He's 163. So 1 times 63 and 163. 1 times 63 is 63, the 63rd day of the year. And 1 plus 63 is 64, the 64th day of the year, the 2 last days. And that's his name in English Gematria. 163. Are you kidding me? It's all over here. This is crazy. I'm proving it like left and right. And just a matter of it happening now. We'll see what happens 18th and 19th. Baby, okay, now ready for this. Now, I'm going to show you something that relates. I show you this with his birthday, and adding his birth date numbers to his birthday, and now it ends up being 2/18 this year. Now, I'm going to show you how something here is incredible, how it ends up to the last day of his birthday this year. And I want to thank my brother Constantine for his help on some of this stuff, including details on this, and it's impressive. Thank you, brother. I just want to thank you for all your help and everything. Amazing. Remember, Trump is 8 in 8 because it's a long story. His death is up to the end of the eighth day, and reason why he's 88 is because this big announcement that's coming on the 218/219 big announcement that's coming from him is going to be on the first day of the first 8 days, and then that's beginning those 8 days, and then the eighth day, the 26th. I'm sorry, that's the eighth day. Yeah, going to the very last day is going to be his death's going to be on the eighth day, going to the last day. So that's another 8. So 8 and 8 is 88. Anyway, this total 16 days pre-day to post-day is 8 and 8. That's the 88 we've been looking for this whole time in movies and everything else. Okay, all right, boom. If you take his number in English ordinal and his number in English ordinal, 138 and 163. 138 times 163 is 22494. What's 22,494? Well, check this out. If you go from from his birth to the last day on the timeline, I just showed you the last day on this timeline, which is his announcement of his birth to the world as the Antichrist. He's the savior, the answer to all the destruction that's come and everything else right here. How many days are in between there? 2,494 days. The same. And these guys aren't together. Please, I've shown hundreds of ways Trump is Stinky BO is Trump. He's the white knight, he's the dark knight, he's the dark knight, he's the white knight. Dark Knight, he's Batman. He said he's Batman. He literally said he's Batman. And he's the white knight. They're the good cop, bad cop to each other, but they're the same thing in a sense. You got you got yin and yang, you got white and black. But they're the same coin in a sense. If you think of yin and yang being like a coin or a disc or something, they're the white and black of the same disc. The same evil disc. Sick. Because guess what? In the yin and yang, the black has white in it and the white has black in it. There's a spot of each and each because they're the same. I'm telling you, man, this stuff just fires me up, boy and girl. Now the fig tree generation. So this is where I'm coming into a different thing here. Man, this is going to be fun. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, now Matthew. This is all in Matthew 24. If you don't know, read Matthew 24, the whole thing. It starts off with his disciples say, "Tell us, when will this happen, and when will be the sign of your coming at the end of the age?" Now listen, this is something a lot of people don't understand. When he's saying you don't know the day or hour and that kind of stuff, the reason why people say the same thing, regurgitate over and over, thousands of people I've heard over in my channel, because that's what's taught in churches and everything. They say the same exact thing, because that's what everybody says in churches, because churches, for the most part, are 501c3s and are controlled by the government. I mean, are you kidding me? You do not know that? I mean, seriously, why do you have to be tapped in the government? Why do you have to be controlled by the government if you're moving God's word and if you're in Christ? You don't have to be. The controls they have in that is insane. Okay, so that's the bottom line. Okay, so I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. Sometimes there's exceptions, but most of the time people have to submit to their system. Okay, and so there's a massive misunderstanding. There's several scriptures that say the exact opposite of that. They say, because guess what? But you're not in darkness, that day would overtake you like a thief. So you can know the day, or there's scriptures that say you can know the hour. It literally says that. But I'm not going to debate that at all. And if I hear any of that on my channel, you're going to get deleted in a second. I'm just saying, because I've heard it ad nauseum from everybody else without me even bringing it up. I'm just say that if you really look into the scriptures, which most people don't even know the Bible, not even close, just they don't even know it at all. I've been studying for 30 plus years, 31, 32 years now. Crazy what the Lord showed me on this stuff. And that, you can know enough to be really close, super duper close. And that's what I'm doing. And again, I'm speculating here. I'm not saying I know the time. I'm speculating. I'm not even saying I know. Okay. I'm saying speculating what could be the time, but still we can know up to the point. I think if we're really close to the last day, we can know up to the day. That's why we're not children of darkness. We are children of light. The ones who are in the light. If if I'm talking to you not in light, get in the light. Get in the light, okay? Get in the light with Jesus. He is the light. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through him. That's what the Bible says. So they ask him this, and it's about his coming at the end of the age. So he says all this stuff all the way up to his coming at the end of the age. And of that time, you don't know the day or hour. This is what begins this whole thing. And he kept saying that a few times. Of this time, you don't know the day or hour. And people think it's right in context of the rapture and all that stuff. It's not. It's in this whole context of the whole book of Matthew. And he's saying of that time, you don't know the day and hour. And only the Father knows. Now realize this again. The epistle or the Gospels were before he was even glorified. So when he was glorified, everything would change, and he would, of course, know everything. I mean, seriously, that he would not know even today when he was going to come and get people and all that. That was correct at that time, and he said that. So no man knew the day or hour when he would set up his kingdom, and what he's really saying. But guess what? Do you think he doesn't know now when the rapture is, or when he's going to set up his kingdom? I mean, he has the right hand of God. He knows all these things. No, at that time in the Gospels, and that was even before people got Holy Spirit. Okay? Man, I'm on a yeah, I'm telling you. And you know what? If I hear any kind of argument on any of this, this is my house, okay? And we're almost at the end. And if you don't want to hear any of this, go somewhere else, okay? If you don't want to see this magnificence I'm about to show you, that's just going to blow your mind out the back of your head, or you want to poo-poo whatever I'm saying, go do something else. Please go. Please, I beg you, go. But if you want to know truth and you want to know right from Jesus Christ himself, because he's told me to tell you this himself, then listen, and I'm going to blow your ever-loving mind with what's coming here, okay? Put on your seatbelt, get your tray table in upright and locked position, because you're about to fly. Okay, you're about to fly. Now here, so that begins this, okay? And then he says all these things, wars, rumors of wars, all these things, people coming, my name, all this stuff. And then he gets into earthquakes and famines and all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then he talks about the tribulation, about the Antichrist, sitting in the, all this stuff about the abomination of desolation, all that goes into the tribulation. And then basically it's basically covering the whole time, going into tribulation until the very end when he comes back. Okay. Now, let me point this out here. Now, here's my point. So now Matthew 24:32-35. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. I tell you the truth, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. And heaven and earth, it will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Okay, so he's saying this generation. So from when they said, when these things start happening, so all these end time events start happening, and he begins Matthew 24. Just go to the very beginning and read the whole thing if you haven't, or if you haven't for a while, do it, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, now what is this generation? This has been a debate for a long time, and then so let's go here now. In Psalm 90, verse 10, it says what a generation is, because you got to use the word to interpret the word. The years of our life are 70, and the years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength, 80, by reason of strength, okay? Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. Okay. Oh, there's so much in there. Oh, Lord Jesus, thank you so much. Okay, so it's 80. So now, but when was Israel born? See, this is all about, the fig tree is about when Israel was born. They're the fig tree, and it was about saying about, the summer is nigh, when Israel's born. Now I'm here to tell you that it's not what people think. It's not this here. Now Israel was born. Again, this is the world saying it. I'm gonna do my best to prove this. It's gonna blow your mind. Okay. So May 14, 1948, when they said, the state of Israel is born, right, headlines, right? Okay, now, if you look at this fig tree generation, people looked at, plus 70, generations plus 70. So that gives you to 2018. When we get there, when we were getting close to there, literally I came out to do my videos on 2018. And we knew most people weren't talking about this. They were talking about 80 because that made sense. So, but now if we go add 80 to 1948, you're at 2028. And now we're almost to May 2023. Though that's only 5 years roughly of tribulation slash some pre stuff or whatever, because we're not there yet. It hasn't really started yet, whatever. Now listen, I'm not going to debate people that think, oh, the tribulation is 14 years, or it's really 3.5 years, or it's really 90 days, or all that other stuff that's just absurd to me, because I've studied it. I know there's so many things in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So the Old Testament is the New Testament concealed, and the New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. And there's many things that are shadows of the 7 years. There's things that are 7 days, things that are 7 years, and different things. For example, the years of famine, and the years of plenty, and then the years of famine with the Pharaoh and everything in Egypt. Okay, there's 7 years of plenty before this starts, and then there's 7 years of famine, and that's 7 years tribulation. And there's, you can't cut that short. It's 7 years famine. Okay, sorry. There's all kinds of examples of these sevens all over the place, and the fact that it works out that way because it literally says how many days, 1,260 days, and 1,260 days is 3.5 years and 3.5 years. Just anyway. But people have all their weird analogies of all this stuff, and it's just not correct. But okay, so if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Don't agree with me to whatever. I'm going to show you what I know, and take it or leave it. It doesn't matter. But I'm warning everybody who wants to hear. If you want to listen, it's coming. What's coming? My interpretation of it from what I believe Jesus is telling me. Okay, and if you don't think it's true, it's whatever. Okay, so the problem is now if we're at 2028, adding 80 years to that, and that's why people aren't talking about this anymore. And they were talking about it years ago when it was a possibility, but now it's not really talked about much at all because we're past it. The problem is, guess what? Israel was not born in May 14, 1948. That was the conception. Okay, now I'm going to show you why. That was the conception. The key, the clue, one of the clues is in Isaiah 66, 7 through 10. Okay, a lot of people don't know. I know the word. I've known the word, and I've studied it for 31 plus years, 32 years. Okay, and I just don't get into a lot of the details of that. I know how to use all kinds of texts and reference materials and a lot of things. I know a lot of Hebrew and Greek and everything. It's crazy. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been a biblical researcher for that long. Okay, and I don't get into all this stuff because it's not what the Lord wants me to do. I just go by what He tells me to do, and He wants me to go into this gematria and the symbolism and all that kind of stuff. But I know this stuff, and I would like to do this kind of stuff full time and as videos and stuff, but He doesn't want me to. See, that's how you know listen, you want to get a clue that you're following the Lord when you do stuff He doesn't want you to do. Wait, I said that wrong. when you do stuff you don't want to do for Him. That's what I mean to say. Wow, I said it completely wrong. See, I told you I'm off tonight. I'm a little tired and everything, and it's later than normal. I don't usually do this late. I haven't done this late in a long time, and once in a while I do. So I'm trying to get this out to you before the day and everything. But we're already probably into the day almost. Okay, so that's a clue that let me say this over again. That's a clue that you're walking with the Lord and doing what He says. You do stuff you don't want to do. He tells you to do stuff that you don't want to do. That's a clue. How many times have you done that? How many times have you checked in? See, this is how you can tell if you're walking with Jesus, okay? That you know Him. And I challenge people with this all the time. That's why I don't have a lot of friends. I have a good amount of friends, but they're just all over the world. And, they're all over the world. It's crazy. I have a few local friends. Well, whatever. Anyway, but I'm just being silly about that because, the Lord makes you do stuff, and some things you want to do, but a lot of things you don't want to do because it's better for you. And it takes you, and you do things and go to places and stuff that you wouldn't know for yourself because you don't know everything. He does. He knows what He needs to know, and you don't. So he guides you and everything. So anyway, He showed me in here. Again, I want to thank Constantine for his help as well. It's just mind-blowing what he's been shown by the Lord as well. So in here, Isaiah 66, 7 through 10, okay, before she was in labor, she gave birth. Before her pain came upon her, she delivered a son. Who has heard such a thing? Who has seen such things? Shall a land be born in one day? By the way, this is a multiple meaning. It's talking about Israel, and it's talking about the like the Revelation 12 sign, the man child being born into heaven, and becoming a nation in one day in heaven. Okay. It's also talking about, in a sense, kind of the more general thing of, Zion, in a sense, being born, in Israel, in some sort of sense of that. Okay. Shall a land be born in one day? Shall a nation be brought forth in one moment? For as soon as Zion was in labor, she brought forth her children. Shall I bring to the point of birth and not cause to bring forth? Says the Lord. Shall I, who cause to bring forth, shut the womb? Says our God. Now look at this. This is a key right here. Boom. Rejoice with Jerusalem and be glad for her. All you who love her, rejoice with her. Rejoice with her in joy. All you who mourn over her. This is so key. Jerusalem's the key. Okay, Jerusalem's the key here, and there's a conflation between the children of God that people are not getting. Most people aren't getting, that are going to be raptured. The faithful are going to be raptured up to heaven. That's going to be the Zion in the future, and how it relates to, in a sense, this earthly Zion formed in the world, which is Israel. But ultimately, it's the evil version. It's the antithesis. The one what people don't know is the real Zion, the Zion on earth, are they're fake Jews. Okay, but it's a symbol. But so ultimately, God showed this symbol on earth to proclaim the sons of God to be, it says, creation waits in expectation for the revealing and moaning for the real unveiling and revealing of the sons of God. Okay, that's not this. That's not Israel and everything. That's the man-child born into heaven. Okay, that's what it's talking about. But it conflates these two together, so people get confused and think, oh, it's this or that. It's actually both in a sense. But literally, if you know anything about anything, if you research Zion at all on this earth and in Israel, it is evil to the core. It is evil to the core. It's called Jesus calls it the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of Satan is who commands the powers of the Antichrist, and eventually the Antichrist will command them when he's he does right now, but when he's on the scene, then he really will. But he's behind. Stinky Bill is commanding everybody behind the scenes. Okay, he just is. Okay, so let me get the point here. So rejoice with Jerusalem. Now watch this. Now this was to prove this point massively, that it's about Jerusalem. Not about that date of when Israel was so-called born, right? It's about Jerusalem. Now, again, the date that Israel was born was some kind of conception, I believe. Now, the actual birth was what I'm going to show you here. So the years 1949 through 1950, just like we had the Tetrad blood moons in 2014, 2015, that were massively huge, to tell this time that's coming right now, I'm going to tell you. There's a number of reasons. I'm not getting into that right now. But, okay, so watch this. So we have Passover, Sukkot, and God's perfect symmetry, because there's something right here in the middle. There's something right here in the middle. And what is that? That is Jerusalem established as the capital of Israel right in the middle here. Can you believe that? That's why these are here. It's not about Israel. Israel confirmed over here in 1948, and then you have these. No, I knew there's something off by this. It was off by like a year and a half or something. It was just crazy. Like what? No, it's this. It was almost 2 years. Boom. Now watch. What is this? Boom. That is January 23rd, 1950. You can look it up. That Jerusalem was declared the capital of Israel in January 23rd, 1950, which that day made Israel it. And it said in that scripture, celebrate with Jerusalem. Okay, Jerusalem being the capital makes Israel what it really is. And that sets the birth. That sets the birth. And how do we know that? Well, this marks it out. What more could you ask for to mark this out? And I'm going to show you other evidence that's mind-blowing. Ready? Here we go. This is huge revelation right here from Jesus. I'm telling you, believe it or not. Okay, so from 1950 to just this last month, January 23rd, 2023, 73 years. Okay, this is massively significant, okay? And then I would say roughly plus 7 years of tribulation, possibly, right? Well, not quite. It's prophetic. 7 years of prophetic tribulation. So there's some change in between here, okay? But we'll get into this here in a second. So we have leftover. So we had 73 years from last January 23rd. Right now I'm in February 17th right now. Last few minutes is February 17th probably. Anyway, so just here last month, January 23rd was 73 years. So what is 7 years of Gregorian here? So watch here from January 23rd, this last January 23rd that we got up to 73 years, to January 23rd, 2030 is that 7 more years of Gregorian. That's January 23rd is 7 years, okay? And what's that in days? So January 23rd, this last month, the 23rd, to January 23rd, 2030 is 2,557 days. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove how this works. So 2,557 days. Now let's take that. First, I'm going to tell you that 2030 is not a coincidence. This would all end around 2030 is not a coincidence. Why? Because look, Agenda 2030. And we have an iris right here. See that? Agenda. Do you think this is a coincidence that the UN has Agenda 2030 and this all wraps up in 2030? Nope. If you think that's a coincidence, I'm sorry, but that's because iris is Isis. See that iris? This is the color part of your eye, and that is the big all-seeing eye. See that? That's the iris. Iris is Isis. You think? And by the way, they're off by one because S is the next letter after R, so everything is the same. And then you do the rule of Kalel, take the one away, and they become exactly the same. They're exactly equal. Rule of Kalel, take one away from this, and you get Iris. Iris is Isis, and I'll prove another way. In reverse satanic, Iris is 193, which again is February being the 12th month, and 1 plus 2 is 3, 319, the first day, and Isis is 219. Again, another proof that Isis is 219. Boom. 219, 319, both February 19th. Isis is Iris. Iris is Isis. I mean, look how they're spelled. I mean, good gravy. I had a friend a long-time friend a while back. We lost touch or whatever, but he used to say good gravy. Older guy. I don't know why I said good gravy, or good gracious Ignatius. Okay, anyway. So Isis is that. See, that's what it should be. You take that iris and you put it in the eye in the triangle, and there it is. That's Isis. Or Iris. Get it? Anyway, that's a little side thing. Okay, so anyway, so now we have, so this is the Gregorian, and this is, it's total of 7 years. We have 2,557. Now, we know that in the Bible, in Revelation, there's probably about 8 different spots in the Bible where in the book of Revelation, where it says what prophetic years and months are. Prophetic month is 30 days long, and a prophetic year is 12 months of 30 days. Okay, so that's 360 days, or with 3.5 prophetic years, that's 1,260 days. And it says this several times, 1,260, and then so it mentions 2 1260s, so 3.5 years and 3.5 years. So that makes, plus those, and then you have 2520. So that's 7 prophetic years. So on one hand, we have 7 Gregorian years, which is 2,557, and then we have 7 prophetic years is 2,520. So there's a difference. See the difference here? Now I'm going to show you. Now right here. Now let's take this, the Gregorian, and we're going to minus the 2520. 2520 minus from the Gregorian, because that's what 7 years we had left from January 23rd, 2023. What do we have left here? We have left 37 days. Okay, it's funny that when we got up to January 23rd this year, it was 73 years, and now there's 37 days. That's not a coincidence. Now, let me show you this. Okay, now from January 23rd, 1950 to January 23rd, again, 2023 is 73 years. And then from January 23rd to there's a transitional time of 37 days to the 7 years of tribulation that are prophetic. That's the whole thing. Now, I'm just showing you because this is a mirror of this. See how this is a mirror of that? Okay, but this is kind of how it is. So this, from here to here, is 73 years. Then we have 37 days, and then we have 7 years of prophetic tribulation. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now watch. This is crazy. So again, of that 37 days, from January 23rd was 37 years from January 23rd, 1950. And now from that January 23rd, of that 37 days, we have, now first I want to say this. January in Roman is, January is the 11th month. February is the 12th month. But I'm going to show you how January is 11, so that's 223. And February on the Gregorian is 223. They're both 223, which is 223. That's the date. Isn't that crazy? Okay, but now we had that 37 days from here in between, okay? And if you take, you go from January 23rd, 2023 to February 23rd, 2023. Remember I said 223 is a big day, zombie day, alien day, innocent children leaving, all that stuff. So you minus, or in a sense you're adding 31 days to this, to that, but you're minusing 31 from the 37, okay? So just so you keep that in mind. You minus 31 from the 37 days we had from there, 73 to here, and now we have 37 till we get to the prophetic, 7 prophetic. Okay, bam. So we have 7 days left right at this point. 6 days left. At this point, we have 6 days left, okay? And this is the 5th day. Remember, this is the 5th day. The 5th day is zombie day, alien day, innocent children leaving day, first attack day. Okay, then from right here, remember we have those 6 days left. We're going to have 6 days, which is minusing 6 days from there. You add 6 days to that, and you get March 1st. Again, March 1st is the transition. Just like I've said, this proves this. Totally. We're down to the exact day that February, it'd be through the end of February would be the first age, or even the year of 2022 on the Roman calendar. And then March 1st would mark out the next year, or symbolically, secretly, is the next age. Now I'm going back over here, okay? So what's March 1st? It's the 11th day on my calendar, and it's Mega Tsunami Day. It's Water Day. And what is that? The Age of Aquarius, water bearer, a water barrier. In a sense, there's a water barrier in between portals and stuff. Anyway, but okay, so March 1st is the Mega Tsunami Day. It just happens to equate completely with the Age of Aquarius, or the Age of the Water Bearer. Now watch this. This is so crazy. Okay, so Tsunami Day is the 11th day on my timeline. Okay, and it just happens to be the first day of the Roman calendar, or the first day of the Age of Aquarius. Remember that song from the Hair album, "When the Moon is in the second house," or seventh house? I'm not going to even sing it. This is the dawning of the Age of Aquarius. Anyway, I'm not even trying to sing it. My voice is not even where it needs to be. Anyway, the Age of Aquarius, okay? And I'm going to prove that by stuff that's coming up here. This is the transition. This is the transition from age to age, from 2022 in the Roman calendar to 2023. I'm just showing you 23 because that's what people know as the Gregorian, okay? Boom. Now watch. Proof here. Now look, where's the sun? It's in Aquarius right now. Where is it going to be? Right here on March 1st, right here, crossing the water that's being poured out. Mega tsunami, okay? And look, see this line that represents star to star to star? And this represents the water being poured out. The vase, or the jar, or the cistern is called. In Old English, is cistern, pouring out water, right? Okay? And it's about to cross right here. Now watch. Right when it begins to cross, and they show this as a big thing, but it really is where it begins to cross. It's literally a little after 3 a.m. March 2nd. So again, it depends on and that's in New York. This is Eastern time right here. A little bit after 3 a.m. And that's what I've said for years. It's a little bit after 3 a.m. because that's what it shows. It literally shows a clock in this the graffiti on iPad Goat in Psalm 23. Literally shows it's Obama, and then it says 623, and then it's a clock a little bit after 3 a.m. A little bit after 3 a.m. right here. And then you take that all the way back to the time zone to Hawaii, and that's a little bit after 9 p.m. But that's on that's March 1st. So March 1st and 2nd, 11th and 12th days, and they're both the day of the tsunami, depending on your time zone. If you're in Hawaii, it's not a little bit after 9 p.m. when that starts, and the tsunami, Hawaii begins basically going to be fomented by a Russian nuclear Poseidon missile torpedo hitting Helena Slump, and a huge section of the southern part of Hawaii falling into the ocean, causing a massive tsunami, which actually goes back, forward and backwards, and destroys Hawaii and goes across the Pacific. It takes about 4.5 hours to get there, and hits the Pacific, or hits the West Coast, I mean. And at the same time, they're going to hit La Palma on the other side, the island of La Palma, and because they're going to blame it on Cumbre Vieja volcano, which is people think it's La Palma volcano, but it's called Cumbre Vieja volcano, and it's gonna. And I've been saying this for 4+ years, and then that massive landslide is going to come off that island, but secretly hit by Russian subs and the Poseidon torpedo. That's that's been coming out in the news lately. The nuke, the radioactive mega tsunami torpedo, nuxels, torpedoes. Anyway, okay, so bam. Sorry, I'm saying a lot here, but it's important. Okay, so boom, and then I want to emphasize my point by this stupid music video by this is ISIS also. See that with the thing on your head or whatever, ISIS. This is ISIS. She's a version of ISIS, and ultimately ISIS is also. This is horns of a bull right here. Do you see the horns? This is like some kind of scale, but it ends up being, these are horns of a bull. It's also the bull god, and then she is also ISIS, okay? And this is a video called You Right by Doja Cat. Her name is Doja Cat. What a dumb name. And then The Weekend. We know the Weekend. Because we're going to be weekend on 2/23. See that? 2, T is 20, would take away the 0, 2, and W is 23. 2/23, February 23rd, we're going to be weakened. See, that's why it's weakened. We're going to be weakened on 2/23, on the weekend. Anyway, this is crazy. So she's ISIS, okay, and the bull god, whatever. Okay, now look at this right here. And that's how they literally have an ampersand between the two names and stuff. Okay, so that 9 plus 9 is 18. The pre-day of 2/18. Then we have 2/19. And then we have February is the 12th month, but 1 plus 2 is 3/19, which is still February 19th, February 19th, February 18th. 9 plus 9 is 18. And then we have 9/4 is backwards 4/9. The 49th day of the year is 2/18. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm proving this bad boy. And then in the video, it shows a little later when she's dancing around, she says she has a man, but she wants another man. It's just so evil and stuff. And then it shows her falling from heaven. Right here, she's falling from heaven. And then she turns into a meteor / comet, and then it turns green, multicolors, and then it turns green. And right here, get it? Guess what? Oh, it just happens to be, she is all forms of Obama. Oh, by the way, so not only that's a position of ISIS right there. If you look at ISIS, legs like that, and then there's wings like this sometimes. Anyway, then, there's a comet or a meteor, but look at comet is 56. By the way, the 56th day of the year is the exact day Stinky B.O. dies, February 25th. And then 79, I'm going to show you what 79 is. Oh, man, there's so much going on here. Okay, so watch, boom. And so 79 is Barack Obama at 79. And then on the other side of this is reverse, this is English, this is reverse. And then 79 is comet, and Barack Obama is the comet. See how it's him, it's her right here. And then that's the pre-day. He is the pre-day 2/18. Birth, death. Boom, 79. Barack Obama is the comet. Oh my gosh. Then watch this. Then the comet, we know that's a green comet, is comet C202022E3 ZTF, whatever. You put this in Gematria and it's 84. Birth is Stinky B.O.'s birth, August 4th. And there's Jewish 623. Who's Jewish 623? Jewish 623 is insane Obama. Look at that. Bam, bam. He is this. Look at that. He is that. Look at that. Insane Obama. And look at Barack Obama. Look at that. And then right here, what's this? This is, again, February is the 12th month. 1 plus 2 is 3. February 23rd, 2/23. Right here. So he is these numbers. He is the first attack day and the last attack day. First attack day being 12/23 or 2/23 or 3/23. Last attack day being 63rd and 64th day of the year, and he's 163 in English Gematria. 1 times 63 is 63. 1 plus 63 is 64. Last days are 63rd and 64th day of the year. I mean, are you kidding me? And then just happens to be in this video that the Doja Cat and the Weekend just happen to be just like the water bearer here of Aquarius. Here he is, the Weekend, pouring this out. Can you believe that? He's pouring out water like the water bearer because it's because the birth of, when he's falling from heaven, when Barack Obama means
Satan, or lightning falling from heaven is Barack Obama, and she's falling from heaven, right? And the day that she's falling from heaven, in the same video, he's pouring out water. Like he is this. He is the water bearer, Aquarius. Look at that on this day, and this just happens to be the day of the mega tsunamis and all that. And then check this out. What happens when he pours out the water? It turns into a tsunami. See, even the world knows more than people do. The world knows more than most Christians do about what's going on and the demons behind them. And they even get it accurate and right. And I'll show you more about how it's accurate and right. Now watch this. There's even Jesus is even hinting to this in this exact thing about the water bearer and everything in Luke 22:10. Okay, Luke 22:10. And he said unto them, Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall be a man to meet you, bringing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth. Okay, now this is code. The pitcher of water man is important. Okay, however, it's a bad translation. We give you a better translation. There's even other translation, but this is a better translation, even though there's better than this. But I'm going to give you ESV, for example. He said to them, Behold, when you have entered the city. Oh, by the way, before I said that, when you see pitcher in your mind, think about you fallen guy with a pitcher of water. You think of a pitcher that most people think of. I mean, that's what I think of, and it's not a good translation. Now, if they say, Behold, when you have entered a city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house. Now, for me, because I've seen depictions of it before, but most people, they don't, the jar that he's talking about is way bigger than the pitcher that you'd be picturing, because most people have like a pitcher of beer or a pitcher of, Kool-Aid, or a pitcher of lemonade, or whatever you, pitcher of water, whatever you do. It's just it's enough for about a gallon or something like that, right? And so most people picture is a pitcher, picture a pitcher, picture a picture a picture. Okay. Anyway, so, but a jar is it's not even a jar that most people even know. A jar is this. Well, so forget, we don't like this. I like this, a jar. But what's a jar? That is the jar, or a cistern. See that? And they would carry it on their shoulder. This is important to understand. See, this is what kind of biblical research I've done in the past, and even more, and even recently. I'm just saying, through the past, all for 31 years, is I'll look at these, Orientalisms and figures of speech and all this kind of stuff, and things that they did back then and how they did them and everything. For example, there's a saying in the Bible that says, if you're nice to your enemy, you heap hot coals on their head. Well, you can have all kinds of interpretations about that, but the truth is, if the research I've done is that what that means really is, you can say, oh, that's really bad. You put in hot coals and it's burning them and making them feel bad. No. When you're nice to someone who's who's not good to you and everything, you're making them feel, you're helping them, you're making them feel better. And so what that is it comes from, again, in the middle of the city, just like they would go in a town or whatever, they'd go take this cistern or this big jar, and they'd walk to the center of where they were, where there was a big pool of water or a well or something like that, and they'd fill it up. It was big enough to last them a day or a few days or something like that, right? It wasn't just a pitcher there, just sort of dip it in and, just do it for tonight, and we'll have, water. It's for the whole day, or it's for, some people were big enough for several days or whatever, and you could have water for several days because they use it for all kinds of stuff. They didn't have plumbing or anything, of course. Same thing with the coals. You'd have in a town or a city, you'd have someone towards the middle of the town that would tend the fire for everybody. And then they would tend the fire, and one person would tend it all day, all night long, and everything like that. So you go and you have a pot, usually not this big probably, but you'd have a pot, and you put coals from that fire. They'd give you coals, you put them in the pot, and then you carry it on your head, because it wasn't super heavy or anything like that, and it was whatever. And so when you carried this pot on your head, because your head is what, your heat escapes out of your head. That's why a lot of people wear warm headgear when they're cold, because it keeps the heat in, right? And so when the pot of coals is on your head, it makes you feel all good and warm and fuzzy and everything like that. So when you're nice to your enemy, you make them feel all warm and fuzzy, like coals on their head, and it's a good thing. See, that you got to understand the Orientalism of that, and I studied that, and among thousands of other things like that. And so people completely misunderstand what they're reading, because they don't understand the Orientalisms of those things. Okay, or how it was in the Orient is what that means. It's not Asia. It's the Orient. It's the Oriental view, how they did around the Mediterranean and all that. Okay. Okay. So that's why they had it. And so they would carry water, especially men would do that usually because women couldn't carry. I mean, men would usually do that. And that's why water bearer is as a man, because a man would carry the big old thing of water because it's super heavy. I mean, to break your, and they put on their shoulder, okay, just like that guy, okay, and then here he is, boom, and even though most people don't even know this, what I'm saying about the cistern and on your shoulder and all this stuff, and here the world knows it, and freaking this guy knows it, the weekend, because he's got a demon that knows it, and the world can't even get this right. But this is the truth. This is what a cistern. Look how big that cistern is. It's not really even a jar. I mean, it's a massive jar, but it's a big, huge cistern. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, now this is what's depicted in the sky. This is a really good illustration of Aquarius. It's got this massive cistern, not a pitcher, not a little pitcher. We need a pitcher, not a belly itcher. I mean, not a tiny little pitcher. Let's just get a pitcher. Let's follow the guy with the pitcher. No, see, it's you get it all wrong. You can't see it right. I'm sorry. Did you read pitcher and think this massive thing with water that goes on your shoulder? No, because it's a bad translation. Okay, that's why it takes to study the word and understand the word that you're actually reading. And then even more than that, asking the Lord what it is and him showing you. That's even better because he knows the word better than anybody. Okay, so that is it. That's what they're talking about. This is what this is on the 1st and 2nd. Okay, now check this out. This will blow your ever-loving mind. I'm getting close to the end here. This will blow your mind. Okay, this is an iPad goat. This is after Obama's looking down. You know, the apple rolls, it splits, and all this stuff. It forms the water lily and all that. Okay, by the way, water lily, okay, is what that is. And that's WL. That's 23 is W. First letter code, water lily, WL. 23. 23rd of Lily is L. L is the 12th month. 23rd of the 12th month is February 23rd. Water lily. That's what it is he's looking down at. Now look at this. Okay. This is Stinky B.O. looking down in iPad Goat. Now this is the depiction. He is looking down. Okay. He's looking. Okay. Look. Okay. And then watch. This is water coming down, or people think it's sweat, but behind him is actually, I hate to say this, on the chalkboard is a penis, and it's shooting sperm like that. So that's sperm, and it's actually kind of milky. It's really dumb. It's really sick and everything. Because, you know, some people think, oh, iPad Goat's all great, and it's not really that bad. Literally, iPad Goat has sperm all over the walls, and it's all over and everything in iPad Goat. It's really ridiculous, and it's quite sick, actually. Okay, and that's what this is. Okay, so but people see it also as water or sweat. Okay, so that's Aquarius dropping water down. See water coming down. See water falling down, right? And it's also conception. Okay, conception is sperm. Okay, I hate to say this, but I'm just gonna be frank. Hopefully we're adults watching. I mark off this is not a kids show when I post my video. Okay, so and I try not to get into too much stuff that's whatever. But that's sperm, okay, and it's coming down. And so again, remember, like I said in my last video, they do opposites, upside down, backwards, opposites. So the opposite of conception is birth. Okay, so this is the day of birth. This is water coming down, Aquarius coming down, whatever, right? Okay, and to prove that even more, this is where this is super hidden. The Lord just revealed this to me I almost want to say like a lightning bolt. Lightning falling from heaven. I got hit by a lightning bolt from the Lord Jesus. I mean, it was just incredible. Watch this. You will not believe this. So this is here. This is a V. I've shown this many times. This is a V, and when it comes down, it just sneaks down, and I paused it years ago, and then this is an upside down J. So V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet, and I knew this was significant. I knew this was a J, and that's 10th letter of the alphabet. But I just what does this mean? I know what this means now, and it will blow your ever-loving mind. It blew my mind. If it doesn't, you're not alive. I'm sorry, but what is this? Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Remember 22, and then J is 10. 22. So ready? We have 22, because that's first it comes, and then down, and then it's 10. 22, 10. Look. He's looking. Look. 22:10. Look. 22:10. Look. 22:10. Luke 22:10. Look 22:10. Luke 22:10. They do this stuff all the time with things that sound the same. I've shown it 1,000 times on my videos. Look 22:10. Luke 22:10. Okay? And again, a man carrying a water jar will meet you. Follow him into the house that he enters. Look 22:10. Or Luke 22:10. Man, who's carrying the water jar? Let me show you. This is the Mazzaroth. Before the enemy, the devil, hijacked the Mazzaroth and called it astronomy or astrology and all that kind of stuff, right? And the zodiac, bull crud. Okay, it's the Mazzaroth. And I'm gonna give you a couple things about that. For example, a tele is the ram who breaks bonds. Okay, Thamim is he will come twice to bring suffering and peace. Okay, and these are the different symbols of the zodiac. Okay, the bull. Okay, the bull. This we know this as Taurus in the zodiac, but Shur is the bull sacrifice who will come back, and I know this be also in other translations raging, or in power, in charging, also charging, the bull charging. Okay, Ariel, Lion of Judah, the judge who will tread his enemies. This is all starting from her. He is the Alpha and the Omega. The Alpha is, I'm going to do something. The Alpha is Bethulan. The virgin will give birth, Koma, to the desired of the all nations, the seed. That's Jesus. So this is the virgin. Okay, or Virgo, the virgin. It's really the virgin giving birth to Jesus. And then this is his story. All the way around here, there's all his story. You have him coming as a bull, whatever. And then he's the lion. He's a Lion of Judah. Okay, the judge who will tread his enemies. You know, that's why like the Narnia, it's a lion depicted because, Jesus is the lion and all that stuff. The Chronicles of Narnia, all that stuff. Okay, anyway. Now, the top part of this is crazy. Now, I'm going to show you here, right here. He's the sea goat. Jesus is the sea goat, which is Capricornus, as people know what that is. But in the Mazzaroth, he's the sea goat, the judge who is the sacrifice. I mean, come on. He's the judge who is the sacrifice. Okay, all this stuff. Now, let me show you. He's Delai. Water buckets pouring on a fish. I will pour water upon him that is thirsty. Okay, and when you pour water on someone who's super thirsty, you're bringing them up to heaven, baby. Okay, that's what they're saying. To us that would have been thirsty this whole time, the faithful, he's pouring out water to us who are thirsty. He's bringing us up. He's bringing us up. That's what he's telling me, okay? Believe, oh my goodness. So this is Jesus. So he's saying in Luke 22, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him into the house he enters. He already entered into his house. Remember, he called it a mansion. In my Father's house, there are many, many rooms. And then you will come where I am. You shall always also be. Right? That's Jesus. I mean, he's telling you. God, thank you, Lord Jesus. He's the water bearer, as I showed you. He's hinting that it's coming at this time. It's a time that no one expects. And when it says that, it doesn't mean that no one can know. It means that the average person expects him to come in the spring, when Passover is, or in the fall, when the other time of the new year is on Pentecost. Pentecost. Feast of Trumpets. What I'm trying to say. Feast of Trumpets. Okay. Crazy. And that's what most people, even that know stuff, expect. Okay. A couple we do not expect. People that are in the know, that know him, not just the average person. No way. And then the people who are really in the know, it's something else. but no one knows this, and I believe this is what he's showing me, and we will see. Okay, we will see, but here, let's go. Now, last thing I want to share is Lupercalia. This is so sick. This is a depiction of Lupercalia. This is the priest in the sacrifice of a goat or a dog or whatever, and then they take the strips of goat hide in blood and in milk and whip women that want to be have babies, to make them fertile and stuff. It's sick. Okay, so what I said is Lupercalia was a pastoral festival of ancient Rome observed annually on February 15 to purify the city, promoting health and fertility. Lupercalia was also known as Dies Februatus, after the purification instruments called Februa, the basis for the month named Februaris, and the god Februarus, which is the god of purification. They're purifying before the new age, and that's with water and fire. Okay, that's what's coming. Okay, and they use fire for the sacrifice, and they use milk. That's why it's white and red, and that's for sacrifice. You'll see that's why white and red is all over the place in this kind of stuff. Observances: sacrifices of goats and of dog by Luperci. By the way, that Luperci is the wolf god. Offering cakes of vessels, fertility rite in which the goatskin clad Luperci strike women who wish to conceive. Literally whip women, and they'd be naked, and these guys would be walking around in like a goat cloth and have goat whips and whipping women that wanted to conceive. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. And then look at this. Who's the goat that's going to be sacrificed during Lupercalia? This guy, the God of all things, goat, G-O-A-T, the God of all things. And he's also known as the greatest of all time. Drop the mic. Yeah, right. He's both. That's why he's the God of all things that Newsweek admits here. And then in this some artwork here, he's the greatest of all time. Drop the mic because he's done. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm showing you. Believe it or not. The sacrifices were performed by Luperci, a group of Roman priests. Afterwards, the foreheads of two naked Luperci were smeared with the animal's blood using the bloody sacrifice knife. The blood was then removed with a piece of milk-soaked wool as the Luperci laughed. Look at this. And this is in the halftime show. This is blood and milk. And this is the sacrifice altar right here. There's the altar of sacrifice right here. And she is the sacrifice. She is the harlot, but she's also the goat. And I'm going to show you that she's the goat. Look, she's the goat. Rihanna's the goat. Here's one example. There's many. I'll show you another example. BET said, Rihanna is truly the goat for savagely curving Diplo, some guy, whatever. The bad gal lives up to her name. She is the goat, greatest of all time, right? Now here, look at this. Lady Goat shirt. She has Lady Goat. Are you kidding me? And here's another one. Today said, back in just a few weeks ago, last week, I should say. Last week, 2023, February 11th, by Rebecca Wood, ahead of her awaited Super Bowl performance, Chris Martin wants the world to recognize Rihanna as the GOAT. Yeah, I'm telling you. It's all about Stinky B.O. Light-skinned, female, worshipped almost. It's crazy in this world. It's crazy. That's Stinky B.O. It's another symbol of him. Like I showed you, he's the GOAT, she's the GOAT. Bam. And then last but not least, this is a real shirt that's being sold in red. Crazy. Look at this. But I want to thank you. Look at the goat head. See, it's goat head. The head of the goat. I mean, so greatest of all time. Yeah, that's what they want to come off as. But we got blood and milk. So, but I want to thank you that all who watch my videos, comment, give me great comments for all these years and everything. Those have given, I thank you so much. Those that pray for me and my family. I've come through so much. I was close to death a few times. I think Lord told me He kept me alive. I was doing really bad for a long time, for a while, and now I've been doing a good amount. Okay. Anyway, I just remind for some cleanup or whatever. So that's great. Okay. Anyway, hopefully, So I want to thank you, everybody who's really has supported this. If you please give, please give this to other people. Please share this. Share this, share this, share this. Please share this. I beg you to share this. This is massively huge. I mean, we probably have no time left if this is it anyway, but still, we'll see what happens on this day now. I guess it's 2/18 now, February 18th and 19th. We'll see what happens if this is right. Again, my timelines. This is longer than I thought, but I had a lot to explain. The timeline is pinned to the top of comments on this video, so you can see each day and what the events are. Because it's too much to. I'm not going to list here. It's going to be there. And we'll see what happens, we'll see what happens. And I think this is massive, compelling evidence and stuff. Some things I've never done quite like this. And things I've done, so it's a mixture of things. So again, I'm going to leave it at that. So thank you and God bless you. And, do yourself a favor. Jesus is always waiting with open arms. Come to him. You just have to confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised from the dead, and he will come to you. That's it. Just that's simple as that. Simple as that. It's so simple. And just commit yourself to following him, and do your best to listen and do what he shows you, and that's what you do. That's what you do. So I'm thankful. So thank you so much. Again, I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, there's links in the description box below. If you feel led to give to this ministry, I'll definitely take it. We always need it, especially if this time doesn't happen like I say. I mean, I'm always guessing the best I know, and that's the best I can do. So, but I'm definitely giving this some massive understanding and revelation from the Lord Jesus. And, even if it's a little bit longer, we're so close. We're so close. I thank you so much. And like I said, in the description box, there's there's PayPal, and there's Zelle Pay and all that kind of stuff. So, or send a PO box, whatever, if you feel led to give. Thank you so much. Again, I'll leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Over and out.